Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. We're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. In case you're wondering what happened to Gary Gensler, it appears that he was hired by the marketing team of Bitcoin. Listen to this out. Let me take a moment to step aside from any specific situations and simply reiterate this to your audience. Though it represents a relatively minor portion of the financial markets, consider how every financial asset is based on mood and a few fundamentals. However, the sentiment in this field is nearly 100%, or perhaps even 100%, and not much about the basics. Additionally, there are 10 or 15,000 different tokens of this type, but something like Bitcoin might last for a long time, since there are 7 billion people in the world who are really interested in it. Additionally, you should consider your personal risk and where the fundamentals are. If this is solely based on sentiment, most of them will eventually fall. He therefore believes that Bitcoin will endure for a very long period. However, the remaining coins will decline. This is the only scenario I can see unfolding here. 99% of cryptocurrencies will be eliminated by regulations. However, the few that remain will grow to be extremely large. If your coin has a utility and a use case, that is, it will remain here for a very long time. However, Bitcoin will eventually lose its relevance. Once more, though, he must maintain the enthusiasm surrounding Bitcoin. He's getting paid to say what he just said, you know. The QR code system in Kazakhstan has gone live and will start to grow later this year. Thus, it appears that they are going farther, in accordance with the digital currency system of the central bank. Listen to what they have to say, though. It has the exact same sound as the interledger protocol. Interbank payments are the first element. We introduced a speedier payment method last year that allows you to send money to another bank using your cell number for a very low price. And we're going to link all the banks this year and make system participation required. Therefore, every bank will be required by law to participate in all second-tier banks. Yes, for every bank on the second tier, it is incredibly easy for any person of this country to send money. QR is the second element. Thus, it appears that Kazakhstan is following the same course as all other nations. The adoption of this system is becoming necessary for these banks. However, note how we said interconnectedness and speedier payments. Interledger protocol payments are the source of this smoke. It's as easy as this. This is how it seems. You can observe how it prepares and then completes each order when you're investing in XRP into Bitcoin. That's how easy and quick it is. The XRP ledger in XRP will be able to process 1 trillion transactions every second thanks to the interledger protocol. It is truly revolutionary. XRP is at the heart of this internet-based payment system. At Ripple, that is the aim. The main goal was to place XRP inside the interledger protocol. It's right here. Nevertheless, since this technology is plug and play, all banks will connect to it. You may connect to it quite easily. This quote from Neuroforce is the most stupid thing I've read this year. Renowned Trader refers to XRP as the largest meme coin in disguise and claims that customers are being defrauded. This entire post seems to me to be written by someone who is angry at XRP's current sideways trend. Cassius Clay, who is financially exhausted and unable to sustain demand, issued a new round of pessimistic commentary in response to the steep fall. Rich investors are currently avoiding risk exposure to XRP, he claims, particularly given the current state of uncertainty. As you can see, everyone is looking at the current price of XRP. However, as soon as you begin researching XRP, you discover that institutional adoption is just 12 to 24 months away. In the US, we're extremely near to regulations. You have previously witnessed the current implementation of MEC regulations. A cryptocurrency like XRP benefits greatly from MEC laws. The banks can now participate in cryptocurrency and digital assets. Furthermore, what is XRP? People have traditionally considered it to be the banker's coin. Therefore, XRP is not a meme coin in any form, even though its price may be moving sideways at the moment. It has a real use case and utility. However, when XRP is dumping out or moving sideways and people are frustrated, these articles are always published. It seems as though the purpose of those articles is to free the weak. That's my perspective on it. Every state, government, and business in the globe will keep cryptocurrency as a reserve asset. Keep an eye on your guru, Justin. According to Binance, several governments and sovereign wealth institutions have contacted a business about setting up cryptocurrency reserves, not Bitcoin reserves, but cryptocurrency reserves. Many of these wealth funds and governments around the world will eventually hold XRP in one form or another, There will still be a liquidity crisis. It's here to stay. What is the function of XRP? It offers liquidity on demand. Regarding Fed Chair Powell, Trump just made a shocking revelation. He claims that he can force him to go. Listen to it. Oh, if I ask him to go, he will. He'll leave that place. He's not doing the job, in my opinion. He's a little tardy, always too late, and I'm not pleased with tell him. Additionally, he will leave quickly if I ask him to. Trust me. Trump claims that he might fire Jerome Powell. Powell claims that he lacks the power to remove them. President Trump wants to dismiss Jerome Powell, the chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve, for this reason. According to him, interest rate cuts by the ECB are anticipated for the 8th consecutive time. Yesterday, the Fed's Jerome Powell, who is usually incorrect and too late, released a report that was yet another typical muddle. Prices for groceries, eggs, and oil are all declining, and the United States is benefiting greatly from tariffs. He should definitely decrease interest rates immediately, but it was too late to do so like the ECB long before. Powell's dismissal is urgently needed. In my opinion, the Fed should be shut down immediately. Get rid of the Fed completely instead of trying to find a substitute for POW. Additionally, he was discussing the ECB. Listen to Christine Lagarde's remarks here. She discusses a reset. The final R is reset. We believe that a monetary policy reset is required moving forward. Although this isn't always the case, we think that quantitative easing and the accommodating monetary policies that have been implemented thus far should be maintained until growth is firmly established in those economies. Reset in the sense that, after it is firmly established, such accommodating monetary policies must be recast and either return to their previous areas, become more conventional, or even take on a new form. Central bankers here will undoubtedly have something to say about that. That's the initial reset, though. The financial sector reform and regulatory environment, which is obviously going through a significant reset right now, is the second reset that Mark is, I hope, going to discuss. The last reset, my final word, Martin, consists of the structural changes that are required everywhere in the planet. Structural reforms are frequently considered for some advanced economies with extremely restrictive labor markets. No, it goes beyond that. Furthermore, I'm not sure if I would necessarily link advanced economies to inflexible markets or identify flexibility as the best way to address them. However, structural changes are required in the right. She just went into greater depth about what she wants to see happen, but she is calling for a reset of the financial system and is also discussing rules in passing at the end. The big reset has already begun. We are switching to a new contemporary system from the old one. This opportunity comes only once in a lifetime. You won't experience this again in your lifetime. You must thus take it